What's up, guys? Mr. Nose Hoops back today with another video, and today we're going to get right into things. Today I am talking about the future of the Phoenix Suns and how, quite frankly, I think things look bleaker than a record or their stats might say. And the biggest reason is the $50+ million contract that is Bradley Beal. Beal's averaging 18, 4, and 3 on 49 from the field, 39 from 3, and 76 from the line. And I know what you're thinking, but Emster, those are really good counting stats. It's not worth it. But let's get right into it, right? So this is against the Pacers. A not very good defense, mind you, right? Like, this is not a good defensive team. I made sure I picked a team. This is a recent game. I believe this is in the year of 2025, right? Beal gets Plumlee, right? Comes over, goes with this little tough lay, right? Tries to get it again. Nothing you can do about it, right? Not necessarily the best look. KD again gets it out to Beal. My apologies. And this is a good lay, right? Like, this is a good lay. You're down 7-0, by the way, already, right? Mathurin, you get past him. Tough finish, right? But this isn't something that he's regularly going to do at this age, right? He's just not. KD gets it tipped out, back over to Beal, wide open, right? That's cash. He's cash wide open. A lot of NBA players are. But again, he gets it, he drives, he goes. This isn't really a great read, right? Even though Tyrese comes over, you could have kicked it done. You could have honestly waited, spun it around, give it to Plumlee as he's going down to the lane. This is just a poor shot, right? And again, I know his efficiencies aren't going to say that. His numbers are not going to say that. But I think there's a reality to it. But the reality of that is very simple. I think even when you look at a play like this, right? Play's breaking down. Beal's in that little pivot, right? He gets a little float. Can't get it. Can't get the board, right? Like, there's only so much you can do. I think at a certain point with someone like Bradley Beal, if this was 4 or 5 years ago, maybe this Sun team looked a lot better. But ultimately, Bradley Beal's a great scoring third option, right? Wide open catch and shoot corner guy. Not great, not very good on defense. Meh as a playmaker and passer, right? Like, the shot's cool. I think it sounds very casual, surface level, and in some ways it is, to be quite frank. But I think at the end of the day, you're paying this dude $50 million to be a third option, right? And at times when his volume goes up, like, the efficiency can be there, but they're also down like 10 to 15. So the question is he taking those shots because he's trying to keep them in the game, or is he taking those shots because he's like, screw it, we're already down 10, I can try and get something up, and maybe it can lead us to win. I'm not saying Bradley Beal purposely, tanking the Suns or anything like that. I think that's ridiculous. I have no way of knowing that whatsoever. But I think this Suns team was ultimately capped off the second they got Bradley Beal. They went, again, they did something similar to Sacramento Kings, who have gone to try and prove me wrong, I guess, since my video, of going in all in on offense. It's not going to work. I think people look at Jokic or even like a Luka and foolishly go, well, we can replicate that just through getting 3 or 4 different scoring options. No, you can't. You just can't. Like, those players are not as good offensively. They're just not. At some point, you need to be able to play defense. You're 25th in defense. Beal's not doing very good for you defensively. Booker can be okay at times. KD can get you some blocks, but I'm not going to go out my way to say any of those guys are really good defenders. Ultimately, this Suns team, it's screaming doom to me. And before getting into the second player, I'm not going to blame. I think Beal is a bigger blame just because, again, of the contract and everything. But Devin Booker, before we get into Devin Booker, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We're on the goal to 2K, 3K, however many K. And I know we could do that. So share this with a friend. Again, let's grow this channel out. But Devin Booker's averaging 25, 4, and 7 on 44 from the field, 33 from 3 on 8 threes a game. So very bad from 3 so far. Or not very bad, but bad. And then 89 from the line. And I think, frankly, we're going to look at Booker as a playmaker because as a scorer, we know Booker's shot profile. We know how he likes to score. We get it, right? I think Booker in some ways has really been overwhelmed, right? Because he has to be the playmaker, right? This is a great read, by the way. Like, gets it off from KD. Dunn does a great job here, basically getting that preemptive screen. Tyus Jones gets that easy catch and shoot. And then he gets to go, right? Back over to Booker, passes it up, gets to KD. And this is why at times the offense looks unbelievable, right? You have KD, Bradley Beal, and Kevin Durant with Devin Booker. Like, that's insane. And I think Booker's at his best as a playmaker when it's quick decisions, right? Like, this is a great, quick action. So they run a little, like, stagger screen, right? Because now Okongwu goes under to try and stop the Plumlee roll. Garrison Matthews is stuck there. Bogdanovich is over. No one's able to get there in time. Or my apologies. I don't think that's Garrison Matthews. My apologies on that. But either way, you get the point. The defender gets stuck on the stagger screen. These are great, play designs, right? For sure. Again, Booker slows it down, waits in transition, gets the whole team to reset, gives it out to KD, right? Again, I think once you force Booker to really have to, work for the facilitation, I think things get a little bit harder for him. I think things get a little bit nastier. I think that's when we see the struggles like you did against the Mavericks in 2022. I think, quite frankly, Booker is overwhelmed with this responsibility because, yes, they have Tyus Jones, but he's not a good enough scorer, right? And, they're averaging about the same amount of assists. I think Devin Booker actually might be averaging, one more. And I just don't think that's in his profile. In a way, to cast it similarly, a Darius Garland type next to him, even a Halliburton, right? A pass-first guard that can get his own bucket next to a Devin Booker, I think is better for him because he should be focusing on creating for himself. And then it can be accentuated by he's a decent enough passer to be a second to third facilitating option. But again, ever since basically they got rid of Chris Paul, they've got KD, and then they, again, I think foolishly tripled down to get Bradley Beal. They have never looked the same. I think Booker's overwhelmed. I think that's part of the reason you're seeing that 3-point percentage dip because he's having to play far more perimeter-centric. I think this team has hedged their bets in the wrong way. And then we're going to get to the final player, and that's Kevin Durant. And we all know what Kevin Durant's going to do. And we know what Kevin Durant's going to give you. He's going to give you 27, 6, and 4 on 52 from the field, 40 from 3 on 6 threes a game. So that's elite. And then 84 from the line. So damn near 50, 40, 90, averaging nearly 30 a game. And we can look into KD scoring a little bit here, right? But I think, frankly, KD's at that point where if he's not scoring, he's not giving you as much. Just alternatively. We've talked about that sort of all throughout his career. I think at times, all right, he was a slightly better defender. I still think unfortunately, he's not that good of a passer or a playmaker. If you trap him or double him or hedge, you're going to force him to make uncomfortable decisions. Right? But I love that little, loss of the dribble, but easily able to recover. To kick and re-go. Right? And then you get Ryan Dunn, KD, easy catch and shoot, right? I think this team was constructed in the wrong way. Right? Because again, it's funny because in a way it feels like the Suns tried to do a Nets, which is they got their big ISO guard who could kind of play, make it, facilitate if you really need him to, and Devin Booker / Kyrie, right? Now, obviously, whoever's better is up to you, right? Regardless. You have KD there. What's KD there for? He's there to help provide you some rim protection if you need it, but ultimately he's there to get you a damn bucket. Right? He is there to score that thing at the highest level we've seen. Right? Of the highest levels of all time. And instead of getting a James Harden, right now, obviously I get it. That's not, but you get the point, right? A playmaking guard who also can score on his own when you need him to, but he can facilitate like few others. You got Bradley Beal, who is a more score first. I need to kind of get mine up to really feel that danger, or else I can't really create for others like that. So they kind of went all in on the big three. And quite frankly, it's not enough. It's not good enough. I don't know if it ever will be good enough. I think at this point, this Suns team is who they are. Now, do I think they'll stay the 10 seed in the West? Not necessarily. But if they made the playoffs, I would probably hedge my bets on either a second round exit to, if they end up with a really bad matchup again, like they did with the Timberwolves, first round exits. Because again, this team is all mid-range oriented. They don't really shoot a lot of threes. Their defense is very poor. And again, on paper, that big three sounds really cool. And that would have been really cool if for someone like Beal, the clock was turned back like 4 to 5 years. KD is still really good now, so I'm not even going to necessarily say it for KD. But if you gave Booker someone to actually help him facilitate, maybe they look better. But I think at this point, it's just quite clear that there's nothing more this team can do. They're stuck, right? The apron's going to hit them eventually, so they're going to have to move off someone. Beal's willing to trade, waive his trade clause, but if they do it for someone like Jimmy, again, their books are hampered. And if they let Jimmy walk, you have all that money, but who's going to want to go to Phoenix, right? Like, what player are you going to get of high enough caliber or level that when they see that Suns team, they're like, yeah, this is where I want to go, right? So how do I think the Suns will end up? I wouldn't be shocked if they end up as the 6th seed, maybe 7 to 8, right? But they could play a team like the Nuggets in the first round. They could play a team like the Grizzlies. They could play some of these other teams that, quite frankly, they're probably getting beat in the first round. Maybe they could sneak by into the second, and I'm probably picking whoever's in the second round against them. I don't have a lot of reason to believe in this team. I don't think this team is bad. I don't think they're terrible or anything, but it's not good enough. Again, another team in the West that we've seen gone all in on offense that on paper should go crazy, right? They're 10th in offense in the league. But that 25th in defense, when you get moments like we saw in the playoffs where Bradley Beal was basically a no-show, KD was always consistent, but Booker got kind of clamped in some of those playoff games. There's only so much that you can do. So let me know what you guys think down below. Is this Phoenix team completely done? Should they just try and blow it up altogether and just go into rebuild mode? As always, guys, this was Mr. Nose Hoops. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Have a beautiful rest of your day, guys. Peace out.